lr.com/wakeupcall DT. Proud to be here with you inside the Cafe Kubal studios, hanging out where sports meets that thing called life. And I appreciate you being here with us every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. Part of my annoying moment of the week today is that we're a few minutes back, so we appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for joining the show here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Once again, you're watching and listening on Facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, as well as YouTube.com/wakeupcalldt. You're watching and listening on those channels, and you're listening to mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage. So however you're connecting with the show, thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. So thank you so much for being here, hanging out with us inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. I hope you're having yourselves a terrific week and hopefully enjoying it. I'm looking outside as God shakes up the snow globe here, and it is snowing here in central and upstate New York. Big old flakes are snowing here. I looked on the ground this morning when I let Lily out, and I saw this little, it was almost like someone left a trace of like an Oreo, and like they take the cream filling and like they ate the cookie, but they left like some of the cream filling. That's what it looked like. It was just like a little just splattering, I'm going to make a word up, of just kind of white snow on my deck, but it was just this like tiny little piece of it and then nothing else. And then within a few minutes, it started to snow outside, and that's what it's continued to do, is snow here. So hopefully you're all being safe, and if you have to travel today, please travel safely and take your time. I think that that's something that people don't always think about, which is ironic to me, that you don't think about taking your time when it comes to this crazy weather and this not so great weather. So we're going to hop right into the annoying moment of the week coming up here in just a second on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. We have a fantastic show set up here for you today. So many guests are going to be gracing today's stage. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, bringing you the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, followed by LEAD, which is the acronym that stands for Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. LEAD is going to be with Juanita Ward, as always, every single Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. And because we'll be on the air here today going into Thanksgiving and we'll be off for Turkey Day, we're going to be speaking on today's topic, what are you thankful for? So make sure you send in some of your thoughts. What are you thankful for? As Juanita and I discuss what we're thankful for, I'd love to hear what you're thankful for. And you can send that during the segment, before the segment, or after while we're here on the show. So make sure you answer the question, what are you thankful for? I might be able to actually put that question up here. So let's see here. I believe I can. So, I could put up a poll. So I guess maybe I could just ask the question without having to put it up here. So what are you thankful for is going to be the question that comes up here. And like I said, Juanita and I are going to be discussing this today. So very excited to be able to do that and share that with you. So what are you thankful for is something that we're going to be putting up here. And then we'll announce our top dog of the week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. I'm proud to say, and I can let you know in advance because she's going to be joining us live. She may not know that she's the top dog of the week, though. If she checks social media, which I know she does often, then she would know. But not only is Mary Grimes going to be a guest on today's broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, but she's going to be celebrated as this week's top dog of the week after winning her first ever game as head coach of the LeMoyne College Dolphins, winning her first ever game in her first ever attempt, because not only did she win the game, but it was her first try at winning a game. It was her first game as head coach of the LeMoyne College Dolphins women's basketball team, and she won. So winning her first game in her first try as head coach for the first time at LeMoyne, we'll be celebrating her as our top dog of the week this week. At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, she'll join us live. And then at 10:35 a.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be joined by Coach Hicks. A lot of you know him. Many players know him. Anybody that came through Syracuse history in the past couple decades, they know Coach Hicks. William Hicks at Syracuse University, just a fantastic coach, a fantastic worker here, and has a lot of connections to the NFL, strength and conditioning. He has been incredible for Syracuse Orange football players, and as well as beyond that with Syracuse sports in general. So we're going to be talking with Coach Hicks today about his history, about his connection to the NFL, about how he made those connections, and so much more. So I'm very excited to share that with Coach Hicks at 10:35 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll also be talking about what he's currently involved in at Syracuse University in his role as Director of Development and Major Gifts. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit at 10:35 a.m. Eastern Time. And then Wake Up Call is going to be hanging out with you a little bit longer. We're going to be pulling some bonus time, and that bonus time is going to feature our newest edition of Pacer Pride. Pacer Pride is an exclusive segment that can only be found on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora through our multimedia marketing partnership with Marywood University's athletics teams. And so we're very excited that today the Pacer Spotlight goes on Bill Schutter, the head volleyball coach for women's volleyball at Marywood University. He'll be joining us to tell his story at 11 a.m., which you're not going to want to miss. So a lot of great stuff coming up. Let's hop into the annoying moment of the week right here, proudly brought to you by Carvel DeWitt.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I'm really honest. I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
You have to be that crazy. I guess so.
The annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It is what happy tastes like. My annoying moment to start off today's broadcast is the fact that, I got up early today. Got up early, gave myself plenty of time, and we were still a few minutes back here on the show because my laptop that I bought, and here's the thing, folks. Now, I've been able to broadcast on a bunch of different things, desktop, laptops. We broadcasted off the phone and all different things. We find many ways through the grace of God to be with you, and I appreciate that, and I'm thankful for it, and I'm happy that we always find a way. So let me preface by thanking God for helping us to always find a way. With that being said, I get frustrated because I bought a laptop this year, and that was because my other one conked out here. And so I think I've gone through, this is like my third laptop in a year or maybe less than a year. And when I got this laptop, it had problems with it from the get-up, but I needed a laptop. So I said, okay, well, maybe it's a glitch. And then I'm thinking in my head, maybe it'll correct itself. Fully knowing, these things aren't going to correct themselves, you know what I mean? So I just kind of went about my business and thought to myself, okay, well, hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully it'll get through what it needs to get through, and we'll be able to rock and roll and do what we need to do. Well, it does work, but it works when it wants to work. And today, it wasn't reading a microphone. Yesterday, it may not be turning on properly. The day before, it might come up with a sign, and, it might say that there's something wrong. So I'm in a place right now where I'm very frustrated and very upset with something like that because, we spend so much money on our technology. And for me, I take things very seriously here. I take everything we do seriously. I want the show to get to you as seamlessly and as smoothly as it can. I don't want it to glitch. I don't want there to be issues. We're on the internet, and obviously I know there's going to be things here and there. But it's frustrating to me that you can buy a piece of equipment and have so many problems with it from the get-up. This thing does what it wants to do. Now it shuts off microphones, it turns them back on. It doesn't even register that they're plugged in, even though you don't unplug them. I liken it to plugging in your toaster, putting toast in it, and then your toaster telling you there's no toast in it, and then your toaster shutting off, and then your toaster burning the toast, and then your toaster saying, please put toast in here after it burns the toast because it doesn't think there's any toast. That's essentially what it's doing. And so, it's frustrating to have to put yourself in a position where, and then if you want to get it fixed, you have to let go of it, and, you got to send it out, even though you need it. So it's just a hassle. And so sometimes technology can be a hassle. My other annoying moment of the week would have to be people in movie theaters that use their cell phones. Okay? Put your cell phones away. Now, I understand. You may be now with the way things are now. If you're ordering food, I get that. And there's two sides to this story, and we're going to talk about the two kind of different angles here. But in my opinion, when you are in a situation where you're in a movie theater and you're doing your thing and whatever, and we're watching a movie, watch the movie. I was in a movie theater last night, and there was these people just talking. And, and I understand you might talk and be like, hey, babe, what does that mean? What just happened? And be like, oh, no, that's a character you're going to see later on. Like, it's this person does this or whatever, And so you can do that, right? Or like, hey, babe, can you pass the Sour Patch Kids? Yeah, okay, But there's, like, proper etiquette, right? If you're able to, like, nudge someone and point instead of saying pass the Sour Patch Kids, but checking your phone, texting on your phone, having full-blown conversations on your phone, playing games on your phone. If you're going to a movie theater and you're playing games on your phone, leave the theater. Because obviously you've checked out. You don't care about this movie. You don't want to see this movie. You don't want to watch this movie. But we do. So leave. I had people in front of me yesterday. There's a whole line just talking. Just talking. Like, I was like, wasn't a simple like, hey, what time is it? Hey, can you pass this? Hey, can you whatever? It was like conversation. Listen, if you want to do that, then watch the movie in the comfort of your own home. Wait until it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray or digital and, talk at home amongst yourselves. But when you come to a movie theater, there's other people there. Now, I'm a calm person. I'm not a person that's going to come up and, like, swear at you, yell at you, and threaten you and whatever. But I want to watch my movie. I want to be in peace. I want to be there relaxing, watching the movie. It takes away from the movie experience when people are there and they're talking and ba-ba-ba and ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Just watch the movie. It's an annoying moment of the week because I don't understand why somebody would do that. Just stop. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you're on your phone, then just leave. Now, there's another side of this. The other side of this is the person who, because I've been on the other side of this. My mom and I were ordering food, right? And we got food, and she couldn't see the food because it's really dark, obviously, in the theater. The box is really dark. So she wanted to get something, but she couldn't see, like, what sauce to dunk into, and she couldn't see, like, where the food was she wanted. So she turned her flashlight on her phone really quick just to see it, and there was a guy. She did it a couple times because she couldn't see, and there was a guy that yelled, yo, shut that phone off, or like, are you serious, or whatever. And I'm sitting here going to myself, like, this is my mom, Like, she's just trying to see her food. She's not on her phone texting. She's not playing a video game. She's not calling somebody. She's just trying to see the food. But you can't have that conversation, right? Because then I'm going to disrupt everybody. It can't be like her with the flashlight on going like this, and then me going, oh, no, it's just a flashlight, and then him going, yeah, but it's bright, and then me going, yeah, but she can't see the food, and then everybody else is going to say shut up. So, you can't do that, but So I think the two sides I'm talking about are have proper etiquette in a movie theater. Don't be texting on your phone and calling people on your phone. I had a guy in a movie theater one time have a full-blown conversation. He literally answered his phone. Sitting in the we was watching Men in Black 2, and I'm sitting in the theater. I'm in the back of the theater, and the phone rings, and you hear this phone ring, and I don't think he answered it the first time. And then you hear it ring again. He goes, yo, what's up? No, what's going on, man? How you doing? Seriously. This person was in a theater. He's like, no, no, it's cool. No, I'm just watching a movie. Yeah, new Men in Black, man. I don't understand it. What's up? What are you doing? Huh? What? What'd you say? I can't hear you. It's loud in here. Yeah, on the phone for like 10 minutes. Have common human decency. Okay? I understand that this world promotes us not caring about each other, and I'm going to promote that we do care about each other, and I'm going to push and see who wins, and I'm going to hope to God that God does. And I'm going to do everything in my power to try and push that, you know, let's care about each other. So, you know, will I kind of just glance at my phone for a second here and there sometimes? Yeah, depending on the situation. But I want my phone in my pocket. Most of the time it's in my pocket. It's away. I'm not touching it. I'm not looking at it. If you call me, I can call you after. That's just how it's got to be. And I feel horrible if I take it out. I feel horrible if I take it out. So, you know, it's just common human decency. Don't get on your phone in the movie theaters. And at the same time, don't be like threatening people's lives either. I mean, the way that person responded to my mom who couldn't see her food, the guy was so rude. He was so rude. Like, he sounded like he was ready to, like, bar fight. And to me, it's like, bro, you need to kind of handle those emotions because obviously you got bigger problems going on if you get that mad that quickly in a theater with a stranger that you can't even see in the dark. So, you know, I mean, I just feel like we need to, as a society, calm the heck down, / don't use your phone in a movie theater. Just don't. It's not nice. And turn your ringer off. You know what I mean? If you're not going to use your phone, turn your ringer. Don't you love that person in church where they pretend like it's not their phone by letting it ring? That's so annoying. Like, we would appreciate you more. I mean, I'm speaking for me. I don't know if you guys feel this way. But I would appreciate you more if you shut it off. Just shut it off. Why would you leave it on? You know? It's all about my bubble gum. Shut your phone off. You know what I mean? It's like, just shut it off. Girls just want to have... No, shut it off. It's just bing, bing, put it in your pocket, bing. This is what you should do. When you first get your phone, this is what you should learn. Which button on the side of your phone shuts it down? Shut it down, right? Shut it down. Just bung, just hit it on the side. I do that. I just reach and I'm like, uh-oh, I left my ringer on, bang, hit it, right? Because you don't want to be that person that just lets it ring. And there's people, because that's like, it's like picking it up. It's like picking your phone up. So, I'm just asking for proper etiquette. Shut your phone off. Go to the theater. Experience something. Watch the movie. And why can't we sit in silence? Like, why do we have no attention span? Like, why do we look at the kitty? You know what I mean? Like, why does it have to be that way? You know, you can't just look at a screen, keep your mouth shut, and enjoy the movie. Just do it. I expect my nieces and nephews who are like 3, 2, 1, 6, I expect them to say something during a movie. I expect them to maybe cry. I expect them to whine. I expect them to say daddy or Uncle Dan or mom or whatever. I expect that because they're children. But when you're a grown adult, I don't expect you to. No, shut up. Just shut it up. Cardi B, I did. I don't know why. But stop talking. Like, who taught you how to watch a movie? If you're going to talk during the movie, watch it by yourself or be at home. Where your parents will be like, yo, can you shut up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to be mean here. Just watch the movie. Enjoy the movie. Celebrate the movie. You're there for an experience. We are there for an experience. I'm not there to listen to you talk. I'm not there for that. I went to a movie one time, and these people were having a reunion. I think I might have talked about it on the show. They had a teachers' reunion. These are people like 40s, 50s. They're all sitting in the back row. They legitimately had a reunion. So they're talking to each other. Oh my God, Cheryl! Oh my God, Stacy! No, you shut up. No, you shut up. What? I haven't seen you in like 10 years. Remember that one time in the cafeteria when you told that kid to be quiet and he was like, no? And we were like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe she said that. Like, in the middle of the movie. Like, they're talking. I mean, now, talking through previews, I don't think you should do that either. I know some people do that because in their head it's like, you could talk through the commercials in the beginning because nobody cares. And you can talk through the previews because it's a little bit less of like a no-no, but when the movie starts, you're supposed to just... these people were having, you know, here comes Steve in the middle, in a few minutes in. Steve, I didn't know you were coming. Hey, how you doing? Are you bringing your wife? Yeah, she's in the car right now. Where is she? She's in the car right now. What'd you say? She's in the car right now. What was that? She's in the car right now. She's in the car right now. She's going to be here in a minute. She's in the car right now. And I'm sitting here going, I'm trying to watch Cruella. I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to see this movie that I just spent $13 on. Can we stop? Okay? Let's experience this. I mean, what are we going to have? Movie cubicles? Where all of us are in like soundproof things and they put like a cone around each of the seats. And then there's a cone around 2 seats if you're there on a date. But like, and we just all see the movie, but none of us can hear each other except for each other. I mean, it's so annoying that we can't just stay quiet and enjoy the movie together. Let's all go on a ride together. Let's all go on an experience together. Let's just celebrate together, okay? I don't know why it's so hard. So that's my annoying moment of the week. When you go to the theaters, please be quiet and enjoy the movie. What do they say at the beginning? Please silence your cell phones and shut the heck up. So that's, but I mean, we used to be scared in the past. When I was growing up as a kid, we used to be terrified that someone was going to kick us out of the movie. That if we talked to some like security movie person was going to come in, grab us, like taser us and throw us out of the theater. We were nervous. I was nervous as a kid growing up that somebody was going to come in there, one of the ushers was going to take us out of the movie. So please just be quiet and enjoy the movie together. That's all I'm asking. The annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It is what happy tastes like. Here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. I love my movies. I just want to watch them and enjoy them inside. I want the only talking I hear to be on the screen. Because if you're talking, I'm missing something. So let's all just, and I'm not saying that my girlfriend, my friends, my mom, my dad, I'm not saying they can't be like, hey, pass the chicken, But let's just, shh. It's just that, Or my grandmother, who's 99 years old, who, had dementia, and she might say something to me like, she might be talking to me, and then I might be, oh, Grandma, we got to be quiet. You know what I mean? But I expect it from people that are older, from kids, but, the people yesterday, like college students, just please, let's all just watch this together. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. We'll be back here with Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, featuring Juanita Ward as we talk about what we are thankful for. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. You're inside the Cafe Kubal studios, and I could not be happier to have you here today. I feel like if any one of you are the one that talks right now, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to tell Dan I'm sorry, because I got really into it today. But, I just want us to care about other people. That's what I really want. That's the undertone of today in anything I say. Just please care about other people. Even if you don't know them, just care about other people. It's not hard. You may be surprised how cool it is. We'll take a step aside. We'll be back right after this.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue. in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. You're watching and listening on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt as well as facebook.com/wakeupcalldt and facebook.com/livenowdt. So many places to connect with Wake Up Call. However you're tuning into the show, we thank you so much for being with us every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and we appreciate your time. We appreciate you just being a part of the show and interacting with us as well on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. We are into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, of course, here with Miss Juanita Ward every single Friday right around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. It is my honor and my privilege to have Miss Juanita Ward here with us. And so, Juanita, as I welcome you into the show, we were talking about it off the air, in Central New York, for those of you that are here in Central New York, to realize that it just snowed and then it stopped. Like, it literally, I looked outside today and I said it looked like some like leprechaun or someone had taken an Oreo and left the cream filling on my deck. There was just little remnants of snow, and then it snowed and then it stopped, and then the entire time I'm doing the annoying moment of the week, it's snowing and now it's sunny outside. It's like, and it's like God playing tricks on you. He's like shaking the globe, and then he's like, did it snow? Didn't it? Who knows? What do you think? Because like it happened and then it stopped and now it's sunny. And so now it's kind of like messing with my brain. Like, I think I just saw snow. I'm pretty sure you made it snow, God. And God's like, did I? Or was that your imagination? So with that being said, God's playing tricks on us this morning. But happy to be here with you inside of the Cafe Kubal studios and here with Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. Juanita, what do you think about this awesomely interesting weather where it seems like God is showing his prowess right now?
You know what? I'm just happy to be alive, and I'm so excited, that we're actually in this time. I was telling you off the air, I have no idea what season we're in, because just as you guys are some bizarre weather up there, we are getting the same thing down here. Well, we're not getting snow, but we are getting some bizarre weather down here. Well, I think yesterday was kind of hot, and then all of a sudden the temperature dropped extremely quick. And I think the day before that it was really hot. And then, now today, I have no idea what it wants to do outside. So I think outside is kind of like playing peekaboo. Like, winter is coming, and it's a preparation right now. Which is, I think this is great symbolic for life. You never know what you're going to get in life, but at least when you walk outside the house, you must be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why I keep a jacket in the car now. Like, if you live in Central New York, you have to have a puffy winter jacket, boots, sneakers, sandals, pants, shorts, T-shirts, and sweatshirts ready at all times. I mean, like, at this point in the year, you got to be ready for everything. Because, because you don't know what's going to happen. But I feel that with God being like, sunny, kidding, snow, wait a minute, 70, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm looking at him going, I'm not going to leave the house till you make your mind up. So, like, once you know, you let me know that you know. I'm just going to, I'm going to cool it right here, and I'm going to see what happens. But, because I'm looking outside right now going, it looks beautiful. Like, it's cloudy, like it's going to snow again, but there's snow. And I know it's going to snow again. I know Syracuse well enough to know that it will snow again. But it's just a very interesting time period. We don't have fall anymore. We have summer, winter, and then we have this wonderful like in-between ground where it's 71, then it's 37, then it's 42, then it's 86, and it snowed somewhere in between there, and then I put shorts on. So I don't ever know what it's going to be up here, Juanita. All I can say is if God is trying to prove how powerful he is, I already believed you. So like that's you won. You got it. Like game over. Here like it's done. So like I'm not even trying to. I feel like Doctor Strange from Marvel's outside just like casting a winter spell. Like I'm like what is going on right now, but it's okay. I feel like sometimes we just like the equator's just like constantly moving, but that's fine. It's all good. You know, anything to prove that we are on a spinning rock somewhere in space. But happy to have you here on the show. And I have a very interesting thing we're going to talk about today is what are you thankful for? And I have something to mention with that. But I'm going to defer to you first, Juanita, and speak on as we head into Thanksgiving. Of course, Wake Up Call is going to be off toward the end of next week because we're going to be celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday with family. So what are you thankful for?
Well, Dan, I can tell you there's so much that I'm thankful for. You know, this is the day that the Lord has made, and, you know, I'm just going to rejoice and be glad in it. You know, there's a lot that I'm thankful for. Most importantly, I'm thankful for waking up this morning. I'm thankful that God gave breath into my body because there's something that I still need to do here. I still have purpose. And I'm just thankful, you know, for the small things. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm thankful for food, clothes. I'm not going to say that. I'm just thankful for the small things. And the small things are just walking. I'm thankful, you know, just to be able to talk to you. I'm thankful for the viewers that are listening on this show. I'm thankful just for the small things because, you know, to be quite honest, I'm blessed beyond my measure. Even in the downtimes, even in our storms, even in, you know, the opportunities that we don't have, even in the opportunities that we do have. Do we ever just really stop to thank God for the small things? I'm thankful that he, you know, placed me here in Mississippi. You know, I'm thankful that he allowed me to, you know, learn all the lessons that I've been able to learn, you know, throughout my years. And, you know, I'm thankful that I get an opportunity to give to somebody else and be a servant heart. Because not all the time do, you know, you have those opportunities to give. And I'm not saying this just because this is Thanksgiving. And, you know, typically sometimes people, they have more generous heart around Thanksgiving. Well, I'm saying this because this is who I am 24/7 every single day of the week. I wake up thinking about giving. And right now it just so happened to be Thanksgiving, and I'm so grateful to be able to serve someone else. Because I remember when there was a time that I was the other person that needed to be served. And so now I'm so grateful that I get an opportunity to serve somebody else and make sure that they are clothed, make sure that they are warm, and, you know, to make sure that they have some food in their belly. I may not be able to give them a roof over their head, but at least I can, you know, go and serve. And I'm thankful for my church family, to be quite honest, because, you know, we are doing a lot to continuously help our community. And so I'm just grateful for the small things. You know, I don't have any big, extravagant, you know, thank you. I'm just thankful, just thankful to God for all that he's doing right now.
Yeah, you know, and I can appreciate that coming from Juanita Ward here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. We're inside of Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. And that is brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. Question is, what are you thankful for? I am thankful to be alive. You know, first and foremost, God, thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for waking up Lily. I'm thankful for Lily. I'm thankful for music, because music always helps me to kind of be honest with myself. It soothes my soul. I love to sing. I love to test my voice. I love to challenge myself. I've done that pretty much my whole life. I love that I get to do what I love and that I love what I do. I love that I don't feel like I work a day in my life. I love that the internet company that I'm not really happy with what they do most of the time lately. That they came to fix my internet yesterday, and the guy was incredibly nice, and he was super awesome. And like, I wanted to pay it forward with him because it really meant a lot to me, the fact that he cared so much. And so he really, like, the company I view a certain way, and then here he is working for that company, and it just goes to show you, not everybody is the same. You can't group everybody together. And just because you had bad experiences with a company doesn't mean that they're all bad that work for the company. And he definitely showed me that yesterday, that there's really good people that work within that company. And so you can't make a blanket statement and say that they're all a certain way, because obviously he's not, and he doesn't deserve to be treated that way. So the fact that he helped me out yesterday was awesome, and I really appreciated that. So, because he did a lot of work to make sure everything was good. And he walked me through it, which was nice. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I can walk. I'm thankful that I can see. I'm thankful that I can hear. We may not always like the things we see, but at least we can see. We may not always like what we hear, but at least we can hear. We may not always want to walk to this event or do this thing, but at least we have legs. So I think that everything that you can complain about, there's always like a reaction that is more appreciative. And I've said before here on the show, like, if you woke up this morning and you complained, that means that your brain's still working, which you should be thankful for. You woke up, which you should be thankful for. You have the ability to put thoughts together, which you should be thankful for. You can speak, which you should be thankful for. And if you called somebody to complain to them, then you should be thankful that they're in your life. So even in the worst moments, there's still a blessing. And I think that that's how beautiful God is, that even when everything looks bleak and horrible and sad and impossible, he's like, yeah, but you're still here. And, I know that that's really hard when someone's laying in a hospital bed with COVID or cancer, or they just had a parent pass away, or, they just got broken up with or something like that, or they lost their job. I know that in those moments, it's very hard to think, but I challenge myself, and I challenge all of us to take these words, and when those days come, to remember that. Hey, you know what? Remember when Dan and Juanita were talking about the fact that, like, hey, if I ever lost my job, I should still just be happy to be alive. And obviously that means that God wants me somewhere else. It's really hard in the moment. It's hard in the tornado to see anything, right? When a tornado's spinning, you can't see anything. But if you're in the eye of it, it's the most calm. And we talked about before getting in the eye of the tornado, being able to see through the chaos, being able to have peace in the chaos, because the eye of the tornado is supposed to be the most peaceful part of it. So, it's easier said than done, and I have my days. Trust me. Juanita and I both have our days. But when you wake up in the morning and you say, what are you thankful for? I don't have enough hours in a day. I'm thankful for my family, who are my friends and my blood. I'm thankful for all of them. I'm thankful for my best friends. I'm thankful for my siblings that are not blood, but God made them my siblings. So to me, they are my siblings. I'm thankful that I'm a godparent for the first time ever to Noah. Love you, Noah. I'm thankful that I'm an uncle. I'm thankful that Juanita is my sister. I'm thankful that my mom and my dad love me and that they care, and that as an adult, they still want to be a part of my life, And so there's so many things to sit here and be grateful for. And I think, it's a challenge, but even in the eye of the tornado, to remember, hey, I'm thankful that I'm here. I could be 6 feet under and then I'd have no feelings. So, I think even in our toughest of days, we should try to reflect on the fact that God has us here. And my belief is if he wakes me up every day, that means he's not done with me yet. So there's something to be done here. And I think people that pass on, he's not done with you. He's just got other plans for you now. And I don't know. I mean, when my grandfather's passed away, it was the most difficult moment of my life and most difficult year of my life. And 30 years later, am I happy that they're gone? No. Do I miss them every day? Yes. Am I sad? Yes. But am I mad at God anymore? No, I was, but I'm not mad at God anymore. So I think like with time, you just kind of realize my grandfathers are always with me and their spirits live through me. And I feel that every day. And I can prove that heaven exists and I can prove that God exists because 30 years later, why can I still remember my grandfathers, hear their voices, see their faces, and why do I feel them consistently teaching me, growing with me? You know, if heaven didn't exist and God didn't exist, there's no way that my grandfathers would live on. And I don't know how to describe the fact that I feel like they genuinely do live on. So, you know, I think that that's a beautiful thing, and I think it's something to be proud of and something to be valued here as we bring Juanita back onto the broadcast here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So, Juanita, just talking about my grandparents and my grandfathers and them staying alive even through passing away, and just what you can say to that. You know, in a crisis, it's very hard to sometimes remember what we're thankful for, but I think those are the times where we have to fight the most to remember that we are blessed somehow, some way.
You know, I think it's extremely awesome because in this season, we have an opportunity to talk less and listen more. And there's so many people that have a story. There's so many people that have an awesome, awesome story. And being thankful, that I've always understood, when you are truly thankful and you are truly grateful, it's never about you. It's always about what you're thankful for, and really showing the world what your thankfulness means to you. The most important thing that I've always been told is the lower you go, the higher God raises you. The less you have to say, the more God exalts you. Because there's so much in what we have to say, but there's so much more in when we listen. Because now we can hear someone else's story. You get a chance to hear someone else's heart. You get a chance to hear, how they made it. You get a chance to hear the struggles. You get a chance to hear the lesson. And I believe that being a servant is the greatest gift, the greatest tool of understanding how to be a leader. And so I'm extremely grateful and thankful for the wisdom that I've, had the opportunity of being taught. It's something important about our thankfulness. There's something important about our gratefulness. It doesn't revolve around us. We have a whole lot to cheer about. We have a whole lot. I could go on and on about the people that I've lost. And I can go on and on about how much I wish I had my sister back that just passed away a couple of weeks ago, probably a month now. However, I remember the blessing. I cherish the moments. And then I take what was taught and I say less and I lead by example. And so I'm thankful for all of those opportunities that someone else gets an opportunity to be blessed by being a servant leader. We can talk all day long. And Dan, I want our viewers to really, really harp in and understand what we're saying today. Because we do so much. But being thankful, being grateful, it's really the icing on the cake. If we really want to taste the sweetness, the lower we go, the higher you rise.
Yeah, bread looks like nothing until the yeast rises, right? It's, you talk about Jesus being the bread of life. and look at who Jesus was, and then Jesus rose. Look at who he is now. Like, he had to die and go to the pits of hell to rise. You know, it's even Jesus had to suffer, right? I think if I said that to myself every day, I'd probably keep my mouth shut a lot more. Even Jesus had to suffer. Even perfection, even God had to suffer. So I may not want to. I may not like it. But even Jesus had to suffer. Man, why are these ex-girlfriends driving me crazy? Even Jesus had to suffer. Why did I not get this job I wanted? Even Jesus had to suffer. Why did I apply to that college and not get in? Even Jesus had to suffer. Jesus died a horrible death. And we get mad over things that are nowhere close. Even Jesus had to suffer. Man, I'm going to say that to myself every day now, Juanita. Because bread looks like nothing unless it rises. And my bread rose.
That's true. Because here's something that we have to take into consideration. Jesus suffered for us so that we could be free. When he went to hell, he didn't go down there on purpose. I mean, he didn't go down there because he did something wrong. He went down there to take the keys back of what the enemy was trying to destroy. The enemy is trying to destroy so many minds today. It's making people think that they're less. It's making people think that they don't have enough of. It's making people feel that, they are not worthy. It's making people feel that they have, less of. It's giving them low self-esteem. The confidence level is low. They don't believe that they can. That's not of God, because God says that you can do all things through Christ. That's the key. Through Christ. You got to get a chance to know him so that he can bless you. I've never seen anybody jump into a relationship without getting a chance to know the person before they actually hook up. You have to know someone before you can become a couple. Because if you don't know the person that you're trying to date, or if you don't know the business that you're trying to, go after, if you don't know the plan that you want to put for that business strategy, you can't have it because you have not spent the time with it to understand it. You have not gained any knowledge from it. And so when Jesus went, he didn't go there because he had done something wrong. He went there to take the keys back so that we could be free. We are in the world, but not of the world. We are saved by grace. And so as Jesus died on the cross, he did that just so that you and I could be free, so that you and I could live a better life, so that we didn't have to wake up and complain, so that we don't have to wake up and complain. Let me rephrase that. So that we don't wake up and complain. So that we don't wake up and say, well, I'm not thankful for this. Jesus did what he did so that we could be free. Free mentally, free physically. There are things that may affect and may attack, right? But the closer and the deeper you get into your word, you understand how to handle life circumstances and situations. Most people say all the time, well, how can I believe in something that I can't see? And I say the same thing. You believe that your lights are going to cut on when you flick the switch. Mm-hmm. You believe that you're going to get paid at the end of the week or at the end of the month, and you don't see the person putting the money into your account. But you believe. You believe that you're breathing right now. How is this possible? So if we believe, there's so much more that we can obtain. There's so much more that we can be grateful and thankful for. We don't have to spend time talking about what we don't have. My brother told me this in 2012 when my grandmother passed away 2011. And my brother told me this. He said, control what you can control, and what you cannot control, let it go. And I absolutely take that as a blessing. I don't use, my grandmother's, leaving this earth as a, means to make somebody feel sorry or make them, get them in a state of mind where they are sad. That's not the purpose of, me talking about my grandmother. The purpose of me talking about my grandmother is to show the expression of how much I care for her, how much she was loved, how much she loved us. Now, I know that she's not here anymore, but the memories from her is still here. And we have to continue to carry on with life. Those are the foundations, and you have to continue to carry on the foundations. You have to continue to carry on. If we take down every single stop sign, what are people going to do? They're going to just run right into each other. They're going to just run, oops, I scanned that one. Oops, I didn't get hit by that one. Stop signs are boundaries to tell us to pause for a second, wait for a second. If you don't have a yellow light in between, how do you understand what cautions means? That means to slow down because there's something ahead that you need to wait on. There's something ahead that you can't see that I see. That's what God is telling us. If you just slow down, wake up every single morning, thank me. Thank me for what you don't have. Thank me just because you have a little. I know a lot of people that don't have much at all, but they are the happiest people in the world. I've been in some really, really interesting countries, and they don't have nearly the things that we have. They have, the stuff that they have compared to what we have is bare minimum. But you know what? Not once did I hear them complain. All the years that I never heard them complain. And they wake up with a great attitude every single day. So what am I saying? Control what you can control and speak life. Yes, it is just that easy. Your words frame what you see. Your words frame your reality. And if you have an ungrateful heart, you will continuously be ungrateful. But if you have a cheerful heart, it will do you good like medicine. Because in the cheer, you find joy. If the basketball games had no cheers and no fans, it would be a really dull game. Sports will be dull. But because you have cheerleaders and you have fans, it truly, truly, truly makes the game more exciting. So why not wake up every single day with a cheerful heart? Why not wake up every single day with a thankful heart? Even in the midst of your absence, of the absence that you have in your life, you will never get to the place of having everything that you want. You will never get the place of having everything that you need. We are human. We are always going to want more. That's just the beast of life. But if you can wake up every single day with the understanding of thank you for the small things, because I will not despise them. I will be grateful because I understand that going through the process is way greater than not having the process at all. Do not despise the small beginnings, because in those, you learn a valuable lesson. And that valuable lesson is to be grateful and to be thankful for the small things.
Yeah, and understand that they're the big things, and that. And I have a book too that says "Don't sweat the small stuff," and it's all small stuff. All of it, not some of it. All of it. You may not think it is, but it is. Most of life is how you perceive. Most of life is how you think about what's happening. Not what's happening, but how you think about what's happening. We have to stay positive at all costs. Because as my grandmother always said to me, what is the alternative? And I told her I don't want to know. Juanita, I appreciate you as always. I'm thankful for you. Not this holiday season, but every day of the year. And, oh, by the way, I promised you that it was snow again. It's snowing again. So God's like, got him. Yes. So I told you God was going to be like, I'm like, God, I know you're going to shake the globe. And he's like, I'm going to sing. I'm like, God, come on. You and I got that. And then right as we're finishing the segment, God's like, it's beginning to look a lot like. I'm like, come on now. So, you know, he's like, Dan, how's Santa going to come if I don't pave his way? I'm like, all right, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Dan, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much. Hey, I just want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
If you don't have any joy, please get you some joy. There's a difference between being happy and having joy. Happiness, you can turn it on and off. But joy, it's an inner thing. It's from the inside, okay? And if you don't have any joy, just wake up and say, you know what? I'm just happy to be here. There must be a purpose. I still have a purpose. And let me get a closer relationship with God to figure out what my purpose is. And here's the thing. God has a plan for you. Jeremiah 29:11 said, for I know, that's God, I is God, for I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord, plans of good and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. Speak the words over your life that's going to help frame your future. What you say right now is so powerful. If you think that you can't, you won't. If you think that you can, you will. Believe this. I can, I will succeed. It's a declaration. It is a decree. You have to speak those things to be not as though they were over your life. Speak them. Have faith. Believe in yourself. The world is not going to believe in you like you believe in you. Believe in yourself, and don't let anything stop you from achieving your goals. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. I can, I will succeed. Joy is coming to this world. Joy is coming to someone's life, and I'm so excited that you just told me that it was snowing. I pray that everybody has safe travels, but I'm so excited that it's snowing, because elsewhere it's not snowing. And I'm telling you, Dan, there's a lot of children down here that's wishing that they would have a snow for this season, that's wishing that they would see some type of snow. And you guys are blessed to get a chance to take those pictures, and see that beautiful scenery of the snow. We get a chance to take pictures of trees that leaves have fallen. So if you want some of those pictures, Dan, I got you, man.
And if you want some snow, I'm going to put it on a plane and bring it down to you.
Please do.
We got more. Central New York, we got more than 190 inches. We can give you 189. What do you want? So we'll keep 1 inch for just to coat the ground for Santa. Everybody else, you can take the snow. But, Juanita will be off, obviously, next week toward the end of the week to celebrate Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. I love you, sis. And I'm always with you. You're in my heart. You're in my mind. You're in my prayers. And I'm just so very thankful for you and everything that you bring to my life. So thank you for that.
Awesome, man. Happy Thanksgiving. I love you back. Please tell your mother and your family I said I love them. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Don't eat a lot, Dan, or else you got to get back on the track and start walking. I hadn't heard anything about your walks lately. So don't you eat a lot, because I'm going to call you and tell you get your steps in, man.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
I love you too. Yeah, your boy's going to be fine. So we'll talk soon. That coming from Juanita. Take care. And, and here's the snow getting even more right now. The snow is, talking about how I have love for my sister and I appreciate her and she means the world to me. And now it's snowing more. So funny how the world works, funny how God works. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. Inside the Cafe Kubal Studios, you just listened to Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. We'll be talking with you right after this fast break as we honor the top dog of the week, Mary Grimes, LeMoyne women's basketball head coach, getting her first win in her first ever opportunity as the head coach of the team. That coming up right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jim Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. And welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Proud to be hanging out with you inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Cafe Kubal with locations all throughout central and upstate New York. Make sure you check out Cafe Kubal by going to any one of their locations, 3501 James Street, as well as 208 North Townsend Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse. In downtown Syracuse, inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital, and on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York. And, of course, where I was with this wonderful person in our community, Miss Mary Grimes. We were here just a little bit ago, a few weeks back, at the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road in North Syracuse at Sweetheart Corners in the drive-thru location for Cafe Kubal. So make sure you head out there to that one as well. Mary Grimes here with us today. She's not only here with us today to be a part of the show, but she's being honored this morning, and I can only do this if I have the help of Miss Lily, my pup. So she's being honored today as something very special, and that is the Top Dog of the Week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. The perfect place, the only place, in my opinion, to bring your dog when it comes to short and long-term care. They honor the Top Dog of the Week every single week, exclusively on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And winning her first game in her first opportunity as head coach of LeMoyne, First game out there, getting a dub, a convincing dub, and making it happen. Miss Mary Grimes, we are celebrating her today, not just because she won the game, but because of the human being she is, because we are spoiled to have her here in Central New York, and because this incredibly talented former player and current coach is someone who is only going to uplift our community, LeMoyne College, and beyond that. So with that being said, winning her first game in her first try is Miss Mary Grimes, our top dog of the week. Mary, how we doing?
I'm doing well, and what an introduction. I mean, I don't know if my game did that introduction any justice. Holy smokes, thank you, Dan.
No, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, first game out, you get a victory. I mean, we talk about the monkey on the back, and I spoke about that with the Jacksonville Jaguars, that they've needed to win that game so that they could actually be in a place where they could get that off their back. Like, okay, we got the win. We don't have to think about it anymore. You got that win immediately. What does that do for you as a coach to be in this new chapter, to be at LeMoyne, back at LeMoyne, and to win your first game out there? I mean, now there's no monkey on the back. The monkey didn't even have a chance. The monkey wasn't even off the tree to jump onto your back yet, and you had already knocked the monkey down and said, monkey, get out of here. So, I mean, What can you say about it?
I mean, I don't know. I think if you're any competitor at all, you expect to win them all. So, I expected, our team to win that game. And, if I was to say, oh, I'm not sure, then I had doubt. And so, I go into every game thinking we're going to win. So I knew we prepped really well. Scout was on point, and, I don't think they threw anything at us that we weren't prepared for. So, it's a credit to the team for listening to the scout and following, the game plan to a T pretty much, and, just going out there and executing it.
Yeah, and you look at getting this team prepared and being around this team and getting ready and everything. What can you say about the preparation? I mean, did you really see in this game, I know it's only one game, but did you see things come together, maybe some things in practice you were concerned about or something you were working on that maybe somebody didn't pick up right away? Were you pleasantly surprised, or just, how did you react when you saw the game? Were there certain things in place where you thought, oh, well, you know what? This is farther than I thought it would be in a good way, or we did this, which I was a little concerned we weren't going to do? Was there any of those moments?
A little bit. I think they play a little bit more than we were expecting, but I don't think it was anything that we weren't prepared for. And then when, we caught out of offense, it might not have looked the way we practiced it, but, I mean, when you have good players, they make plays. So, it was one of those situations where it may not have been perfect the way the offense was run, but we executed because we scored, and they made plays. So, so just along those lines as far as, how much zone they played versus how much we prepared for them to play zone. So, but they went out and, it's a seasoned team, so they understood that, this was their first home game of the season, and they just wanted to make sure they made a statement, and they did.
In making that statement, coming out and getting the victory, I saw that you got a victory cookie cake. Where did you get it, and how was it?
I mean, it was really, really good. It had a lot of sugar in it, so that carried me through the evening. But the support staff, the administration, as far as the SID, administrators at LeMoyne got the cookie cake for me, and it was really cool. And I did share it with the team and my assistant, and make sure I made my rounds to the training staff, because it wasn't just me out there. I didn't make one shot. It was everybody. So even though it was quote unquote my cookie cake, it takes a lot to get where we are, and then not doing it by myself. So it was pretty cool to have it and share it.
Here with our top dog of the week, proudly presented by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Campground Dog Boarding, celebrating Mary Grimes following her first victory and her first attempt at a victory as head coach of the LeMoyne Dolphins. Now that you've officially been on the sidelines for LeMoyne, not as the assistant, but as the head coach, what did it feel like?
It was a little bit surreal, now thinking back about it, but I feel like I was prepared. So, and so it wasn't strange, but it was just like pretty cool. And now thinking back and understanding the magnitude of just having that opportunity, I'm happy we won, and I'm happy that we executed the game plan, and it's what I've been preparing for. So.
Did you get a text message from Miss Gina Castelli?
Oh yeah, I got a text from her. She was just like, "Wow, congratulations!" And I appreciate her obviously more than words can say. And like I've been saying, that she didn't leave the cupboards bare. Like this is a seasoned team, it's a veteran team. Some of the nuances that as far as like working hard and understanding the magnitude of each and every game. That's not something that I have to teach or have to harp on. They already understand that. It's just, X's and O's that may be a little bit different. So, I'm always grateful and thankful to Coach Castelli for not leaving the cupboards there. Made that transition a lot easier.
And before I let you go, speaking here with Mary Grimes celebrating her first win in her first outing as the head coach of the LeMoyne College Dolphins. Just what it means to you to have that with you once again, to be you're always, once you're a Dolphin, you're always a Dolphin, but to be representing this school to you means what?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty special. It's a great place to be. Like, it feels like home. There's not a dull day that I walk in the office and I'm happy to be there. I love going out to practice. I love the relationship with the players, and I don't know if I could ever say that that's always the case at every place I've worked. And, every time I come back, and now that I'm here now, it's just like it's where I'm supposed to be. So just grateful for the opportunity.
Bob Beretta, Linda Lemura, did you get any responses from them, any thoughts from them after the win?
Yeah, I got a nice little email from Dr. Lemura. I saw her in the stands, so I appreciate that. That was one of the things I said, make sure you're in the stands. And she said, oh, I will be. So I appreciate her coming out. And, Bob's been unbelievable support for me just on my, first head coaching job. And, just helping me through the nuances of being a head coach. So he was right there as soon as, the game was over, giving me a high five, knuckle bump. So, he looked like a proud papa too, like, okay, I made the right decision. And I said, I looked at him and said, you sure did. It wasn't verbally said that, but I could see it in his eyes.
No, and for you, like you said, you've been a coach. You've been able to do a lot of different things over the years and be in different places. But for the first time to be a head coach, just what this moment means for you, win, lose, or draw in that first game, when you step out onto the court and you stand there on the sidelines and there is no chair in front of yours, there is no, you're on that end chair that is your chair now. What has been that kind of thought process and feeling for you to know that last chair at the end of the row that now belongs to you?
Yeah, well, I changed it up a little bit. I got Sydney Lusher in the first chair because I'm just prepping her for next year. So she's there, and on one side I got Joe on the other, and we have good conversation with Sid about the offense. She's got a high IQ, so I cheated a little bit. I made her sit in the first chair, but it just is natural. I don't know where it came from or whatnot, but it's just natural for me to be in that spot. So, some of the other things as far as being a head coach and the day-to-day operations, it's different for me. But as far as basketball, I've been doing that. It's just been in me since I started playing. So that part's not any different. I always watch games on TV and break it down. Okay, what would I do in this situation? So I'm always thinking the game. So that part hasn't been hard for me. And I was kind of surprised I sat at the beginning of the game because that wasn't my intention. But I think that was just the confidence and a calm that I had about our preparation. And it's, like I said, it's a credit to the players that I was able to be, that calm, that they were prepared for what was ahead of them, and it was just awesome. It was an awesome feeling, but Bob told me to enjoy it tonight and move on to the next, and I did that, and I'm on to the next now. So I put that W behind, and I'm thinking about the next one. We got New Haven tomorrow, and we're right in the conference, so it's going to be a battle.
And what's that like for you to know that, like, conference play, you played one game, now you're in the conference, you know what I mean? Because the NE10, in your schedule, you kind of come in and go out of it. But the fact that your second game is immediately a conference game, already getting thrown into the NE10, just what that's like for you. You've coached in different places, in different divisions of the NCAA. And so here, when you're looking at Division II here at LeMoyne, the schedule has the fact that you're going to be playing games that are going to have a lot of weight in the NE10, and then you're playing games out of conference kind of intertwined with each other instead of getting all the non-conference out of the way early. Just what that's like for you.
Yeah, I mean, it brings reality into view really, really quick. I think the first year when on my second stint here, we started out with Adelphi as our opener, and I'm like, Coach, and she's like, yeah, that's the way this is. So, it brings preparation to the forefront, where, if you have all those non-conference games, you can kind of have some hiccups and, learn from some non-conference games. But now you're getting right in a conference where the games have so much more meaning. It makes everything a little bit more, brings everything to the forefront as far as how you're preparing for the games. And, you just got to be ready. You knew that coming in, so there's not a surprise. So as you prepare throughout the preseason and once practice starts, it's just like, all right, this is what we're preparing for. To be playing in a conference game, the second game of the season, is just, you just got to be ready. It's almost like a football season where things mean a little bit more each game,
Yeah, and you being in this position that you're in as you step forward here in the doubleheader that you have, you'll be playing at 1 o'clock this Saturday, and so you'll have the opportunity against New Haven to get into the NE10 right away here this weekend in your second game. You're at 1 o'clock this Saturday, November 20th. The men are at 3 o'clock. Just what you could say about, that too, jumping into a doubleheader at home, Ted Grant Court. It's a Saturday. It's cold outside. It's already started to snow. So, I don't have to tell y'all, but Dolphins like it warm. They don't swim in the frozen tundra. So y'all need to get your butts where it's warm, which is inside Ted Grant Court. Yep. You got a doubleheader this Saturday, November 20th. It's at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. I don't know what y'all are doing on November 20th, but I know what you're going to be doing, which is going out and seeing LeMoyne. Why should they come see the doubleheader?
Yeah, I mean, it's just an unbelievable atmosphere that has been created there. We got courtside seating that's new this year, so that was cool to see the other day. And, the cheerleaders are there, and, it's a great atmosphere. Just all the fans and everything like that. So, you won't be bored. It's a great place to be on a Saturday afternoon. And, to see two games, two great teams on one day, I mean, you can't beat it. It's great for family. My kids love it there. So, I'm sure everybody else's kids will love it too.
Being in this moment, being a head coach for the first time ever, what did you think about the night after the night after you won that game? When you're sitting there, you're in bed, you kind of just got some time to yourself. What was going through your mind that night after having that first game and being able to tell yourself, like, hey, I know I'm a head coach. I know I got hired. I know that I went to practice. I know that I've been leading this team. But to sit there that night and get your first win and to know that you truly now are a head coach, you are leading a program, what was going through your head and your heart when you kind of had that moment of silence to yourself?
Dan, I didn't have a moment of silence. The game was over. I watched our game, and then I was on the New Haven. And I'm pretty sure I fell asleep watching film. And that's kind of the life of a coach. Is you get one, and then you move on to the next. I think in the spring, maybe that's time to reflect, but it is what it is right now. You just kind of take it in that moment. I had my moment with the team after the game, and I told them, thank you for that, and let's go get another one. So I didn't have a moment. I just keep moving forward. I love that movie. You asked about Disney movies a few interviews ago. Meet the Robinsons. Keep moving forward.
Yeah, and that's and I guess that's a beautiful. I was gonna say to you before you answered that you probably don't have a moment to yourself because you're a mom too. So
yeah.
So
I was holding a open bag of pretzels 5 minutes afterwards, and they were like, "Oh, these are your daughters," and I'm like, "What's going on?" So I went to mom mode in 5 minutes, but I enjoy them both. I'm thankful and grateful for everything. Easy situations. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so kind of a final piece here, Mary Grimes, our top dog of the week, LeMoyne College Dolphins women's basketball head coach, winning her first game in her first ever opportunity as a head coach at LeMoyne and first ever time as a head coach in her career. So we honor her as our top dog from Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. Final piece here. I'm going to have some fun with this. I'm not going to put you on the hot seat. I'm only going to put me on the hot seat because you've been a great sport and you've been awesome and I love the energy and I'm super proud of you. And I know that you don't take any time because you're always on to the next one. So I'm going to ask you to take a breath here and put me on the hot seat. Any 2 questions you want to ask me, Mary, I have to answer them. So if you didn't celebrate that night, now you can celebrate your win by making me answer questions live on the radio and on video.
All right. This one, I don't know where it randomly came to mind. Have you ever made a half-court shot?
I have made a half-court shot. I've made plenty of them, and I actually have video of one of the ones that I made. I think it was pre-pandemic. I was in one of the gyms and whatever, just kind of shooting. But I have witnesses that can prove that in 2 separate gyms in 2 different places here in central New York, I not only made a half-court shot, but it was the first shot that I took. So... yeah, I'll send you the video. I'm going to send you the video of one of them that we got on tape. So.
All right. Well, we did a team competition last week, and, the whole team had to do it. And I said, well, somebody's got to make 2 half-court shots, and Aaron Fouracre made 2 in a row. And we do have the video. Yours is probably on VHS someplace, but we have it.
No, mine is on my phone. Mine is on my phone. You know what? And, if I got invited, I'd be happy to do a competitive challenge with the LeMoyne women's basketball team where we put something fun on the line and I have to do something with the team. And if they get it before I get it or vice versa, then something happens. I'd be more than happy to do a challenge with the team.
All right. We're down.
Okay.
Last rapid fire question. What's something somebody doesn't know about you? Something cool. Something cool. Yeah.
Something cool that people don't know about. I would say that I guess I would say this that not a lot of people know. My acting debut was in college, and I was in a 3-person show, and I was the only man in the show, and it was Adam and Eve. And I played Adam, and I had to speak, I think, 160 different times. And so I had to memorize 160 lines of dialogue. And I can honestly say that I don't think Robert De Niro can say this, that my first time acting, I had to kiss a stranger, and I had to be almost completely naked because I was Adam, and I had to memorize almost 200 lines of dialogue. And the lighting director was the boyfriend of the girl that I had to kiss. So it was very interesting, very unique, but I can honestly say that I threw everything, if I was afraid of anything, when you're on stage and you have almost nothing physically on, and then you're got a spotlight on you and there's nobody on stage with you, like the entire first act of the entire show, and it's just you, I would say that it was interesting, it was fun, And it definitely taught me that if I think I can't, I definitely can. So that's what I would say.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it made it look really interesting, and I had to fight. I had to fight for my wardrobe. I had to fight for everything. So,
oh my gosh.
you know, I was like, as a man, I have rights, but yeah.
Oh boy,
so,
here we go.
but yeah, I definitely, I don't know. I kind of went into a different world because to me, the amount of stuff that I had to remember and memorize was insane. I mean, I think every actor and actress out there should be commended to literally just read. And we didn't have like a cut. You know, when you go on stage and it's like an hour show, you're just going and there's no like cut. There's no I didn't like that. There's no you said that line wrong. You have to just know everything. I had to learn how to hold a baby, which apparently I didn't know how to do. And so I had to learn how to cradle a baby like a football. But so I learned a lot of stuff that day. It was a lot of fun. It was my first ever audition, and I got the part. So it's definitely opened me up to the fact of knowing some things that I didn't know that I would go out and do. But I definitely don't think there's anything I can't do. That's not how I live. So God is good. I'm very happy. Thank you for having me tell that story. So now that all my listeners and viewers know that I was in an almost naked one-man show, kind of. So good stuff. But happy Friday. Happy Friday. But thank you for everything as always, Mary, and I appreciate you. And the "What's Up, Dan" means a lot more after that victory. So thank you for that.
For sure. Thanks for having me, and I look forward to chatting again soon.
Well, I'll see you Saturday. So.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Take care.
Yep.
See you later. That coming from Mary Grimes here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. You didn't know that your boy was in an almost naked show. Hey. So, let's go. But, so that was back in college. It's fun. And, so. Whew. So, and my mom thought I would have said sing, which is exactly what I was going to say. But, I wanted to embarrass myself, Mom. So, happy morning, Nobody can embarrass me more than me. But, we'll have a good time. And, I think, if nothing embarrasses you, you know what I mean? So, just go out there and be yourself and love yourself. So, we're going to take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back with Coach Hicks, William Hicks, a longtime strength and conditioning coach at Syracuse. Bunch of ties to the NFL, helped send a bunch of people to the NFL, and is now at Syracuse as the Director of Development and Special and Major Gifts. So we'll be talking with him right after this fast break where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Stay with us. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Proud to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And today we're going to have an extended show as we typically do. We under-promise, over-deliver. That's what I like to do here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So we'll be bringing you an extension of the show in just a little bit. At 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we will be featuring our new Pacer Pride episode with the head volleyball coach of Marywood University, and that'll be Bill Schutter's story coming up here for you in just a little while, but not before we have Coach Hicks on the show. Will Hicks, you know him as Hicksy, you know him as Coach Hicks. I don't think I've ever heard anybody call him William, so very happy to have Coach Hicks here on the show. He is the Director of Development and Major Gifts at Syracuse University, and he was a longtime strength and conditioning coach at Syracuse with an incredible track record. It is my honor and my privilege to have Coach Hicks on the show. Let's bring him in. Coach, how are we doing today?
Hey, Dan, thank you very much for the kind words. And, over my time here in Syracuse since 2000, it's always been my honor and privilege to be on your shows because, people appreciate so much how honest you are and how you bring out the human interest stories in sports.
Well, I appreciate that, Coach, and I appreciate those words. It means a lot to me to know that what I'm trying to put down, somebody's picking up. And honesty, integrity, I know things that aren't usually involved in media, care, love, concern, wanting to hear a story. I know that it's a lost art, if it even was an art at some point. So it means a lot to me that you see that and you feel that, because I truly do care. And I hope that you know that I've cared about you from the day that I met you and was around you. I've had a lot of respect for you over the years, and not only as a coach and somebody who's been connected to a university in my hometown, but just as a human being. You've always been an amazing, just kind person, very loving person, and always positive toward me. So I want to say thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate that, but having coached as long as I did, I'm kind of into in the performance business. And the one thing I can tell you is over all these years, all the athletes I've coached that have been on your show, the former athletes that still are on your show now, former Syracuse players that come back and do your show, they do it for a reason. And that's because they were always treated the right way, and they appreciate the message you send out. So it goes both ways. So what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the fact that, and I'm going to say this, I know that you may not say this about yourself. I know you're a humble guy, you're a Southern guy, Southern hospitality and whatnot, but you have one of the most fantastic track records as a strength and conditioning coach. And somehow, some way, it never mattered the record, it never mattered the coach. As long as you were here at Syracuse, you somehow could not only get the ear of the NFL and the eyes of the NFL, but you would get all 32 teams, 29 teams, 31 teams. What can you say about the relationships you built with the NFL and the franchises around the NFL? How did you get so connected to the NFL so that they trusted what you had to say about a player? Because your bridge to the NFL has just been incredible, and I've kind of I've marveled in it for so many years. I want to talk about the fact that how did you make this bridge a reality? Because they trust you, and they would show up because they believed when you told them there was a talented person that they should look at.
Well, I guess the first thing is, I did it a long time. I put on my first pro day in 1986, and so I had a lot of years of doing it. I went through a lot of scouts. When I first met them, they were young scouts, and by the time I got done, they were personnel directors and some of them general managers. But I really believe the biggest thing, and it's a lot what you talk about, it's a lot what I believe in, though, is to be honest with what you tell them. You can't paint a picture that's not there that they don't see on film. And I tell our athletes this, I have to tell them the truth, because if I tell them something about you and it doesn't pan out when you get to camp or you end up on their team, they're not going to believe me to come back and see your teammate the next year. So if you start off with shooting straight with them, telling them exactly how you are, what your character is off the field, what your work habits are off the field, what they can see on tape, talent-wise, is there for everyone to see. What they look for is kind of what makes you tick, what your true character is when nobody's watching, if you're selfish, how you interact with your teammates, those kind of things. And you can't blow smoke, like I say, because if I say something that's not true about one guy, they're not going to come back and take your teammates to next year. So you develop that sense of trust. And then, I've had over all these years, when they're trying to fill a roster and they need a couple free agents, they call me and say, "Hey, Coach, you got anybody out there? Any of your guys anywhere? We need a couple practice guys for camp." And that makes you feel like you have, gained their trust. They know you have an eye for talent, and then they know your kids are going to be physically prepared by how you train them.
Is it God-given, the eye that you have? Is it trained? Is it both? How have you been so good at determining who's really got it? And, so many of us can see something, and it could be boom, it could be bust. You've been so good at sifting through everything to really see the talent. How do you do it? Is it something that was just natural for you, or is it something that you've trained your eye to do? How do you be so successful in something like this? Because you don't, Coach, you don't really miss when you take those shots. You really don't miss when it comes to the players that you've called somebody on and say, "Hey, you need to look at this guy."
I think some of it might be a God-given ability or a talent, but really I think most of it is the fact that I've spent so much time with them, and I've seen them so much. When a scout comes to practice, he might see 20 reps that day and watch 5 game films. Well, I saw them come in as freshmen, so by the time they're seniors and they're having a chance to go to the NFL, I've seen 5,000 reps in practice and 45 games. And So some of it is just the volume of seeing them every day and seeing them evolve. Some of it is a little bit of you might have a little bit of a gift in seeing things. But I think the biggest thing is watching everything a player does and not just watching the plays he makes. Anybody can watch the plays you make on TV at home that's not even in the business. They're fans, and they appreciate what they see. I've always watched everything a player does, how they stand in line, how they react to a good play, how they react to a bad play, what their makeup is, or Coach Marone used to call it what your DNA is. What mark do you leave behind that is an impression of you that nobody else has? What's your DNA? And that's kind of the way I've always went about it, and maybe I've gotten lucky.
And you've been able to see that, see the DNA of somebody. And for those that don't know, it's Syracuse alone, and this is only naming a few, but Dwight Freeney, Jameel McLean, Arthur Jones, Chandler Jones, Jay Bromley, David Tyree, Shamarko Thomas, Ryan Nassib, and on and on, and Justin Pugh, if I didn't say that, I may have said that, but, and on and on. You have seen what these gentlemen have. Guys that may have been told that they're too short, or they're playing out of position, or they can't do this, or they can't do that. I mean, for goodness sakes, Chandler Jones was, trying to get himself dang near 10 sacks in the opening game of the NFL this season after playing so many years in the NFL. When you look back on all of these young men that you've tried to teach as a strength and conditioning coach, just what it means to you to build those relationships and have those bonds. Cam Lynch, you built these relationships with these guys, and you looked out for them, and when they come back to Syracuse, they come back to see you, and they all tell me that. Lou Alexander, I'm going to see Hicksy. Cam Lynch, well, I got to spend some time with Hicks. Like, they love the fact that you looked out for them, and that to the world, they may be a Super Bowl champion, an NFL player, a $1 million man, whatever you want to call it, but to you, they were these young kids that you were just trying to help. What is that relationship like for you to take these guys under your wing, to love them up, and then to see how successful they become?
That's the whole part of it. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone yesterday with Justin Pugh, and I'm not sure he's as happy with me right now. He's getting married in March or April in Mexico, and I told him I'm not going to be able to make it. He's like, "Coach, come on, you got to go to the wedding." I said, "Hey, I'm not coaching anymore. I can't make it to Mexico. I have a real, I have be at work doing other things for the university." He said, "Well, we'll do something local. I'll come see you. Love you, Hicksy." And again, he calls me Hicksy. But that's the part that I guess I stick my feather in my hat that I'm proud of is, I get messages from guys I coach when they have their first baby. Dwight Freeney, after he got married a couple years ago, had his first child, he called me and said, "Now I know what you mean about you don't sleep at night when you have a baby. I don't quite know if I was ready for this." Yeah. They spend the real person with you once you've invested enough in them, and I think you get the best out of somebody once they know that how much you care. I got a lot of letters by my name and all those kind of things from certifications in schooling, but athletes don't care how much you know until they realize how much you care. And once they know you care about them, then they'll run through a wall for you. As long as you're honest and you treat them the right way and you expect the same from everybody. And there's no shortcuts. And truthfully, the good ones don't want these shortcuts. If they don't do it right, they want you to call them out and tell them that they didn't do it right because they know you're trying to make them better. And, I learned that many, many, many years ago that, call it the way you see it, and it'll end up in your favor.
And that's the thing, that faith. You've had incredible faith, Coach, and you have gone through adversity. You have bend and don't break. You've taken on different roles at Syracuse. You've done everything that's been asked of you. Why?
I decided to coach when I was 15 years old because my father passed away, and my high school coach basically looked after me from that point on. And I knew then that I would be a coach because there may be another kid like me that needed some influence or needed somebody. And then I started building relationships, and I thought I would never leave North Carolina. But I got to know Coach Pasqualoni very well, and out of my respect for Coach Pasqualoni, when he talked to me about coming up here, I said, he's the right kind of guy. And, I came with Coach P, and, I'm a Southern boy that had seen snow twice in my life, and I think the first winter I was up here, it snowed twice one morning before breakfast. So, and that was 21 years ago, and I'm still here. So I think there's a draw about Syracuse. There's something about this place, there's something about this town, and there's something about this university that really makes people feel comfortable. And now that I'm in the job I am now in development, it's basically getting, alumni engaged and helping support us with just their engagement, being around and support us financially. And it's amazing that the draw that this university has on their alumni because how special they felt when they were here. And, everybody has books in the library and number of buildings on campus, and every university can pull out all those accolades. But the relationships built, the type of people that come to Syracuse, high-charactered, tough people. The students that come here are tough now. It's hard to walk to class every day in the winter around here the way the weather is. And they embrace it, they do it, and they develop an appreciation and a love for this university that really is different than I've seen a lot of places. And, I went to NC State, played there, coached there, spent a lot of time there. And it's a special place too, but Syracuse has a draw on people.
Coach, you talked about that, your father passing when you were young and you coming with Coach P and just looking for the right people. How did you, growing up as fast as you did, how did you do it? You could go one of a bunch of different ways when someone you love passes away. You could go down a dark path. You could, be depressed. You could be down. You can seek, a father figure and maybe seek the wrong people. You could seek the right people because you have a faith and you have a direction. You were a teenager. How did you grow up so fast, and how did you kind of know how to seek the right leadership? Because the person that you are today is a product of who you were yesterday. So how did you learn on the fly so quickly, and how did you mature so fast, and how did you look out for yourself at a time where it would have been easy to go in the wrong direction?
I really think it's organized team sports. Doesn't matter if it's football, basketball. I'm a little partial to football because I've been around it all my life. But it's doing something with others that's a common goal. It's the process of when there's 120 kids on a football team, you may not like every single person on the team, but you learn how to respect every single person on the team because you're all pulling the oar in the same manner for the same goal. The coaches that are willing to sacrifice their time and their efforts they see something in you to help get you better. If you really look at the definition of a coach, which is just a teacher, and your main purpose is to inspire others to do better than they can do on their own. And if you approach it that way, athletes you teach freshmen that, and then the sophomores teach the freshmen, and then juniors teach the sophomore, and it's the old adage is each one teaches one. But you build a camaraderie, you build a common goal, and that keeps you on the right path. You don't want to let your coaches down, but at the same time, when I was in high school, I didn't want to go down the wrong path because I didn't want to let my teammates down because I wanted to win on Friday night. And the older guys expect a certain standard out of the younger guys because it's going to keep getting passed down. And so, it's team sports. I know when I first left football and went over and started working with our girls rowing team and tennis and softball, I thought football was tough. You ever seen a rowing practice? I mean, and these girls are so tough and so disciplined, and they don't get all the accolades for it like you see in the other big sports, and they just keep churning it out. They're great students, great athletes. Same thing with like our tennis program. Syracuse, unless people look and study the internet and start appreciating some other sports here, you don't realize how entertaining and how good we are at a lot of other sports here. Our cross-country team's always nationally ranked, and our volleyball team was outstanding this year, and our men's and women's rowing teams are always nationally ranked, and our tennis team is nationally ranked, and there's kind of a message, like I say, through this department, and actually, through the leadership with John Wildhack, that respect, retain, recruit, and develop kind of the cornerstones of everything we do and what we believe in.
Yeah, coming from Coach Hicks here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this morning, Director of Development, Major Gifts, and obviously spending a lot of time with strength and conditioning and all that you've done over the years. Coach, there's so many things we could talk about, and I always love talking with you because it brings a lot of things that are very important back to the forefront for me. It kind of resets my balance, and I'm sure a lot of guys have said this to you. I'm sure a lot of girls have said this to you. I'm sure a lot of people around the world have said that you're kind of a way back to what's important. I feel that our minds kind of have a wayward way of going, and our hearts might go that way too. But I don't know. I would imagine other people have said this to you, but when I speak with you, Coach, it always brings me back to me. And I think that is an art that is of the truest form, and I don't know how you do it other than the fact that I have a strong faith. I believe in God, and I believe in good people, and every time I talk to you, I always feel like you bring me back to where I need to be.
Well, I really appreciate that, and I've always enjoyed our conversations because they always have to start with whatever the event is, whether it's a pro day or after a game or about an athlete, but they end up going towards what's really important, and that's who you are and what you represent. And if you do things the right way, you never have to look over your shoulder, and that's what I've always told players. If you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. Just do things the right way, and things will take care of themselves. So I really appreciate every time I get to be on your show, or actually just shoot the breeze with you on the phone. So thank you, Dan.
Absolutely. And Coach, before I let you go, kind of a final note here. I mean, for you to come in with Coach P and Paul Pasqualoni, and then Greg Robinson, Doug Marone, Scott Schaefer, Dino Babers, you've been at Syracuse for a long time. What have you seen through your eyes? Because you have such a unique perspective from the last couple decades of Syracuse football and Syracuse University and this community. What have you seen? Because Coach P, I mean, to me, I will always stand by this. That man should have never been let go. It started a trail of tears, in my opinion. But I respect Coach P, and I know he's got respect all over this world. But to have Coach P, to have Greg Robinson, to have Doug Marone, who I got to see here and in Jacksonville because I cover the Jaguars, and Scott Schaefer, who I would have invited to any dinner at my house at any time, and now to Dino Babers and whatnot. I've gotten to build relationships with a lot of these people. I didn't get to really know Greg because at the time I was in college and whatnot, so I came back to see a few games with my dad. But you've seen so much, and you've seen so many different eras of Syracuse football. What's it been like through your eyes?
Well, I don't think Syracuse football has really changed that much. You look at what Coach Babers is doing this year. I look out there and it looks like when we had James Mungrove and Walter Ray running around out there on the field, with what he's doing with the running game. The landscape of college football, has changed with us being in the ACC now, with the whole NLI. with what, the arms race and the facilities race that people are going through now in college football. The landscape of the whole game has changed. Game has moved forwards and backwards, and now I really believe we're moving forwards again. And if you really look at how close, except for the Louisville game last week, how close we are to already being a bowl team, to already being a nice winning season. The pieces are in place. You just got to keep moving forward, and it's all about right now. You hate to say it, but the arms race and recruiting. And now with the new role being, we're trying to upgrade facilities and do some additional things for all of our sports, so we can compete at the highest level with ACC.
Yeah, they're coming from Coach Hicks here with a very unique approach. And Coach, last thing here, Director of Development and Major Gifts. What does that mean? I know you talked about it a little bit, but what's your day-to-day like? And a secondary question, or a second piece of that question, I know you've tried to really work with bringing the alumni back and making them feel welcome. How's that been going?
That was one of the harder parts, because not that many alums stay right here in the Syracuse area.
Yeah. So
to get that outreach and get guys back for certain events, and bring guys back for games, like I'm going down to NC State this weekend, and Richie Scanlon, who was a team captain here years ago, was a very, very good player, played in the NFL for a while. He's living in the Raleigh area, so he's going to meet me at the game, go to dinner tonight with John Wildhack. P.J. Alexander, who played here, lives in Texas. He's going to come to the NC State game. Greg Hanoyan played for us, played fullback for the Giants. He's coming. Joe Burton lives in Connecticut. He's coming. So, me reaching out and getting guys to come back for different games and finding out what part of the country they're in, that's been challenging. They all want to be back around. It's just, they got spread out, so we're trying to work on doing some reunions and some different things to where they know that there's something that their teammates will be back for and they'll be back for. John Wildhack has done a unbelievable job. I don't think I've ever been with John when he speaks to a former athlete and he doesn't tell them that they're always welcome at any time to come back for practice or games or just come back and visit. So that part we're moving in the right direction. And day to day, my job is visit how many people I can visit and talk to about what we represent in the program, and show them our needs, and leave it at that. And once they assess them, it's amazing the amount of alums and people that see our needs, and that they reach into their pocket and they give back to the university to support the student athletes.
And coming from Coach Hicks here, Hicksy, as you know him as, and Coach, as always, I thank you so much. I mean, we barely scratched the surface. I feel spoiled to get a couple minutes with you, and I'm hoping for a couple more. So keep that phone close to you. I'll be calling you very soon. But thank you for taking a few minutes with me today.
Anytime. Thank you very much, and I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Get plenty to eat and watch a lot of football.
All right. Well, take care of yourself. Be safe, and say hi to the family. Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. That coming from Coach Hicks one more time on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Very excited for all that I get to do here on the show, and to have these really, really kind words come from somebody who I respect and appreciate so much. I did not know that I was going to hear that today, so I appreciate that. I do. And that means the world. It really does. I don't know how to thank Coach for the words that he just said. So thank you very, very much so, and I appreciate it, Coach. So for Coach Hicks and all that he does, so grateful, and for all the players that he's trained and lives that he's touched. Some of the greatest people that I've met, some of the greatest players in Syracuse football history, and just tremendous trail that he has left of love and of appreciation and respect and honor and doing things the right way. You know, if Coach Hicks touched it, it probably turned to gold. So I appreciate you, Coach, and thank you, and I love you. So we'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, Wake Up Call is extending out because we got to bring you Pacer Pride. It's exclusive. It's here. It's Marywood head volleyball coach Bill Schutter joining the show for the first time ever as the Marywood Pacer spotlight falls on Marywood volleyball right after this.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the Southern Tier, so come visit us in Binghamton, Enwell, Kirkwood, Montrose, and Norwich. For self-pay non-insured patients, we offer the Smile Plan, which covers all of your cleanings, x-rays, and exams for an affordable yearly price. Call 607-754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you make your way out to the Millhouse Market today and all throughout the week, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. I just went out there and got myself an M&M cookie, a pumpkin whoopie pie, or as some people call them, pumpkin gobs, and of course, I got myself one of their amazing sandwiches. I got the chicken salad sandwich with the Asiago peppercorn bread. Incredible. The Cobb salad. Get out to the Millhouse Market. Be it a salad, a treat for yourself, a homemade bread, a sandwich, a brick oven pizza. Everything is made with love. Everything is made uniquely. I can honestly tell you that there's not a single thing on that menu that doesn't have its own unique flavor that I haven't found anywhere else. The Millhouse Market and Rebecca Alford do an incredible job. It's so much more than food. And so make sure you go out there to their general store as well as to their indoor dining, and their bistro restaurant changes every weekend. So you can eat inside Tuesday through Sunday, but on the weekends, that indoor dining turns into a bistro restaurant, and that menu changes weekly. So you can come back every single week and try something new. And of course, you can find them at their drive-through window as well, where you can grab your food and go. The Millhouse Market, 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Absolutely, positively worth the drive every single time.
So I do enjoy that, and I'm so fortunate, to be in the position that I'm in at Marywood.
Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, as well as on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. You're watching, listening on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as facebook.com/livenowdt. We're inside of the Cafe Cabal studios for another edition of Pacer Pride. And Pacer Pride is the exclusive content you'll find here through our multimedia marketing partnership with the Marywood University Athletic Program and the Pacers. So very excited to be here with Bill Schutter. Bill Schutter here with us from Volleyball at Marywood University. That is our spotlight today, is Bill's story as well as the volleyball team. It's my honor, my privilege to have that be our Pacer Pride exclusive segment here for you on Wake Up Call. So let's bring him in. Bill, how are we doing today?
Very good. Thank you for having me on the show, Dan.
Absolutely. And Bill, I got to meet you a couple weeks ago, albeit for a few minutes with Enrico Mastriani in the lobby there of the athletic complex. But it was great to be around you and to know that this team had more life this season. What can you say to kind of get started right there about how proud you are of this year's team and the fight that they've had in them?
I'm very proud of the team this year. We were a very young team, considering that most of them didn't have the season with 2020. Most of my sophomores were actually taking the court for the very first time. So technically they were playing volleyball at a college level, even though they were sophomores. So I had a very young squad out there. So I was very, very pleased with the way that they performed and the way that they responded to not just the first time experience of playing college ball, but to go through the rigors of the academics that they had to maintain, and the schedule that we played was not, so-called user-friendly at times. We played some very tough teams, and, they responded the way that I was hoping that they would. And I was very pleased at the way that the season went. I'm not just looking at the wins, losses, but how the team progressed from start to finish.
Yeah, and you had some runs here to look back at the schedule where you had a couple wins in a row, if not 3 wins in a row at times. So you were able to make some runs here this season. And multiple times you won back-to-back games, and then there was that one 3-game winning streak. Just what you could say about, the fact that you were able to do some good things this season. I mean, what do you look back on when you look back at the schedule? And like you said, having such a young team, when you were able to put a string of wins together multiple times, just what that means maybe for the future of the program.
Well, I think what that did show us, and we had, when we were doing our exit interviews last week, talked to all the girls on, what they're looking forward to, next season, what we can work on as a team and what they can work on individually to get better. One of the things that, was a common ground is that when we were on and we were playing well as a team and flowing, those are when our wins were coming. I think what we have to work on a little bit is just maintaining that positivity on the court when things are not going as well as they should be. And that's what we're going to focus on, in the off season and also in the spring non-traditional season. I think if we could stay more focused and forget about the 1 or 2 plays and not have them snowball into 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 points, I think that's the key to picking up a few more W's. I will say that in my entire time coaching, when I was going through the stats at the end of the year, we actually played in 10 games this season, 10 games that were decided by 2 points.
Yeah.
We played in 10 games that went to 23-25 or 26-24 overtime. And you take a play or 2 in that match and it's a win. So I think that's what we're looking at, is that we were almost around the corner so many times and we just didn't finish. So that's our push next year, is to finish.
And what is it that affected, getting to those points but not finishing? Was it just the youth? Was it just experience at this level that you could get to the precipice but not close the gate, so to speak?
Yes, I think that had a lot to do with it. I think the youth and the inexperience of playing on the college level, I think that did play a little bit into it, with the excitement and, just being in that situation. Maybe they weren't in that as much as they were in high school, and to be at that level playing, I think that played into a little bit of it. Yeah.
Here with Bill Schutter, the head volleyball coach at Marywood University for the Pacers. Bill, your time as a player with the sport of volleyball, and we go back to, what you did and where you were, I think it's important to go back to your history and your love for the game. When did you fall in love with the game of volleyball? What did it for you? What kind of brought you into volleyball?
That happened in high school. I was playing basketball at the time and doing some track. And the volleyball coach came up one day and said, "Hey, will you just give this a try?" And I went out, and the rest is history. I just fell in love with the game and kind of just followed it through high school, right into college, out of college, club ball, beach ball, and then, into coaching.
I look back at your time, and when they were at Division I at East Stroudsburg University, 1982 to 1986, the team was ranked in the top 15 nationally during your 4-year tenure there. And like you were just talking about, playing open and semi-pro beach volleyball regionally with the US VBA. Just to speak on your time at East Stroudsburg with a Division I program at that time that was ranked in the top 15 in the country, and then to move on from there and to continue to play after college when you had that opportunity as well, which so few have.
Yeah. I tell the girls this too. My best 4 years of my life were college. My 4 years of college are the best years of my life. And a lot of that had to do with because playing a collegiate sport. And, I tell them all the time, you can't get these years back. So enjoy them. And, your best friends are going to come out of your team, not so much, the people at the college. So I was very fortunate that I was able to play at that level and play against guys that were, at that level. And, 2 or 3 of the guys I played against in colleges at the time were alternates on the Olympic team back then. Yeah. So I was, I cherished every single moment that I was able to step on the court. I had very good coach, and we were ranked nationally. We were the smallest college. They actually had to put PA after it in parentheses when they ranked us nationally because no one even knew where East Stroudsburg was. But yeah, to take it from there, I made a very good friend who played at Penn State. We played against one another for 4 years. And then we joined up together and played club ball. Back then, club ball was only basically, it was only in one area, not like it is now all over the place. So we played mostly in New York. I was able to do that for quite some time. And then him and I went on it and played doubles and played beach doubles down in Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. And did that for quite some time until I went into another profession. And then that was it. Then I got into coaching.
And to go into that other profession, I think it's important to honor this. You were a Pennsylvania State Police trooper, 25 years of experience, 1991 to 2016. I want to thank you for your service because, not just because of this, but I have family. I have a godfather that's a police officer. I have family members that have not only served as in the police force, but, served in world wars for the military and whatnot. I think it's important to thank those people that helped to protect us. And, there's so many things that I've been able to live a life at 36 years old by the grace of God, and I'm very thankful for, where I wake up and I go to bed and I'm here and I live in a safe neighborhood. And as much as I thank God for that, I also thank people like yourself that are doing things to protect me while I'm sleeping that I don't even know. So before I say anything about anything, I want to thank you for your service, because it needs to be appreciated. It needs to be spoken about, because, police officers, firefighters, first responders, military, they're fighting battles to keep us safe that we don't even know about. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done.
Thank you, Dan. It's very appreciative. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that needs to be said. With Bill Schutter here with us, head volleyball coach at Marywood University. He's our spotlight guest in Pacer Pride. And you've had the opportunity to coach as well before coming to Marywood. Boys volleyball coach at Wyoming area from 87 to 91. Posted winning records all throughout. And then also coaching Penn State Wilkes-Barre's women's volleyball team with winning records there. You were honored as the District 2 Coach of the Year in 1987. And, besides Wyoming area, in nearby West Wyoming, we know the fact that you also were the Dallas High School boys volleyball team. You were there as the head coach as well. So to be able to serve at Wyoming area, Dallas High School, and Penn State Wilkes-Barre, there's so many awesome things that you got to do as a coach. I guess to start with the high school, since I named a bunch of places, what can you tell me about what you took away from Wyoming area, as well as what you took from Dallas? And I got to shout out Dallas, where one of my best friends and Marywood alum, Ross Turetsky, lives out there with his family.
Even there's one in there that snuck in there before that even is the Wyoming area boys volleyball team.
Yes.
So I actually did that the same 4 years that I did the Penn State Wilkes-Barre girls team, because they were opposite seasons. So I kind of got started in high school with the boys, and didn't go into the girls program at Wyoming area until actually I was close to retirement. Right before, I would think I was 2 years before I retired, I went into Wyoming area with the girls. I love high school because I love taking raw talent before it's even kind of comes out. You kind of have to find it and chisel away and see what you can produce. And I enjoyed that challenge every year of coaching in high school.
Yeah.
And then I was very fortunate, when I interviewed for the position at Marywood, and it's just a totally different atmosphere going from high school to college. The biggest thing is you're getting girls now that have played at a level of club or high school that was so competitive. It's funny, even when we do some of the recruiting and girls come in and, most of them are, captains of the teams that they came from, or, stars of the teams. And, you look around and basically that is our whole team, that the entire team is that now. So you don't have to put as much into the teaching of the basics, but the college is teaching the fine tuning of how to make someone even better, get over that hump of teaching them little tricks of the trade, things that, that they were never shown in high school, and, just take it to another level. So I do enjoy that. And I'm so fortunate, to be in the position that I'm in at Marywood.
What made you want to be a volleyball coach and a police officer, a trooper at the same time? I mean, how do you, it's two totally different things. I mean, did it kind of because one's maybe heightened and dangerous, the other one kind of mellowed you out? I mean, I know coaches can get, energetic, obviously, but how did you balance the two of those? Because
ask the girls if I'm energetic or I get a little worked up on the sidelines. Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm a little bit animated at times. I always liked coaching. I always liked teaching. If I probably wasn't a state trooper, I probably would have went into teaching, because I enjoy, I coached Little League forever. I did the mini basketball till 6th grade, so I was always involved in coaching pretty much most of my life at some point, at some level. So this is, going from the little league and mini soccer and all the way up the ladder, the pinnacle now is college and coaching at that level. So I think every level taught me something. Every level, I still learn every day. I tell the girls that I learn just as much from them as I hope that they're taking away from me. You're never too old to learn.
And, what have you learned from them? What are some of the biggest things you feel like you've taken away from the teams that you've had? I mean, this could be any one of the teams, the boys teams, the girls teams, the women's teams that you've had at Penn State, Wilkes-Barre, as well as Marywood. What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned or quotes that you've taken with you? Because I always talk to student athletes about what they take from their coach, but with you saying you learned from them, what are some of the lasting things that you could take with you?
Well, you probably know, I mean, guys and girls are different.
Yeah.
Boys and girls are different mentality, different approaches. Some of the things that I took away from this is going from one to another is, I could talk to boys or, a totally different way and they respond a different way. And girls, I learned also by doing it from high school, even into college, it's just a different approach that you have to take with them. I would say what I learned from them mostly is getting to know them more personally on a level of not just the court. And I think that helps me as a coach understand what they're going through on a daily basis with their schooling, their academics, their personal life, whatever that, is shared. I think it becomes, I learned, to me, what they showed me is that it's more than just the player, it's the person. And when you put those two together, it just makes it even more dynamic.
Yeah, and I think getting to know who they are and what they're about. I mean, obviously to be a great coach, you have to know how to coach each individual. And how can you coach them if you don't know who they are, what they stand for, what makes them tick, what their likes and dislikes are, what they've understood, what helps them understand in life, what's difficult for them. I mean, to know your players is the only way to coach, because if you just try to blanket policy, do it a certain way, you're going to be unsuccessful. But I think that just with, I look at my group of friends and, they're all loving, caring people, but they're all different. Yep. And so I think as a coach, your only path to success, real success, is to know what makes each of them tick and what kind of ticks them, what makes them tick, what ticks them off. You know what I mean? To know these.
There's no one size fits all.
No,
it's everybody has a different button to push.
Yeah.
And where someone needs a kick in the rear end, another one needs a pat on the back. And everybody has a different motivational factor, just like I did, just like you do. I mean, everybody is, and what's difficult at times and challenging at times for, I believe, as a coach is that figuring it out. You're going to make mistakes. I mean, I've made plenty. I just hope that I don't make the same ones over and over again.
Being here with Bill Schutter here of Marywood Volleyball, very excited to be here with Marywood Pacers Volleyball and being able to talk with Bill about this team and about his history. To be at Penn State, Wilkes-Barre, before you came to Marywood, what made you make the transition? Why Marywood? Why come here after 4 seasons at Penn State? Why make the move to Marywood University?
Well, honestly, between that time was probably about 30 years. There was a big jump in between Penn State and Marywood. Yeah. 25 years in this, working for the state.
What made you come back, I guess, is the right question.
Okay. I wanted to get back into coaching, and I got a taste of it getting back into the high school at Wyoming area. And when I did that, I was like, I want to try something different. I've done the high school, and I had a kind of a taste of it with the college, and I found out that Marywood was looking for a coach, and I really honestly didn't know a lot about the college itself or I didn't know anybody there. So it was, I went through the process and, I'm going into my 4th year coming up, and I couldn't ask for, a better group of people, from the athletic director down, the rest of the coaches that we, I see, and it's just a great atmosphere.
And for you to have that time in between and then to come back to it, like you said, you didn't know much about Marywood when that vacancy was there. What have you learned about it now? Taking over in 2019, what would you say if you could go back in time and see yourself before you took the Marywood job when you didn't know a lot about Marywood University? What have you learned about Marywood? What type of knowledge and wisdom would you impart on yourself to define what Marywood actually is to you now?
Well, when I first came in, the situation was a little bit different. Let's just say I tried to change the culture a little bit when I came in, without getting into too much of the specifics regarding that. I just wanted to make it more of a positive atmosphere for the players. But don't get me wrong, I'm still there to win games and want to put, W's in the column. But I think that the biggest thing was try to find that happy medium to want to win games, want to have the desire to win, but yet still have fun at what you're doing while you're trying to accomplish that. And that's what I think I have been, I'm still on, on that quest, 4 years later, but I do see movement from 2019 to now. Also regarding, the recruiting end of it, the last of the girls that were here to graduating this year, and now pretty much everybody on the team is girls that I have brought in, through the recruiting process. And, one of the things that I look for is, team chemistry, team player. I don't have to have that 4-star athlete. If I see something in a girl that I feel that I can develop and make her better, I'll still take that over, maybe the superstar athlete because of her team makeup and what she wants out of it. So a lot of the interviews that we do when I'm looking for that is, how important to you is team chemistry and teamwork, because there's no individuals out there. If you cannot play as a team in volleyball, you are not going to be successful. You need 6 people on the same page. It's unlike any other sport.
And you, like you said, as you've worked to change the culture and to try and win games while you're trying to create a more exciting atmosphere, fun atmosphere, positive atmosphere. Now that these are all of your recruits, what gets you excited about that now, this is, this has got the full Bill Schutter stamp on it. All of this is you now.
Yeah. I was extremely excited to start this year. And now I'm even more excited. We're only out of season 2 weeks, and I'm already excited after talking to everybody on our exit interviews and equipment turn in. We're having our end of the year pizza party Monday night, and put a wrap on it before they all head out for Thanksgiving break. And every one of them is, even though the season was so long and tenuous, they're all chomping at the bit to get in there in mid-March to do our 1-month non-traditional season. And I'm excited about that, because that just means that they didn't have enough. They were out there 24/7 for 3 months, and they still want to get out on that court and play again. So that's exciting for me, because it rubs off on me. And I think, one of my seniors that's leaving said to me that, seeing how excited I got on the sidelines and into the games was one of the reasons why she got so worked up and excited and wanted to play the game. And to me, that was the epitome of, that's what I'm trying to do. And if I could reach them all like that, then sky's the limit. So I'm really excited about now that, like you said, I pretty much have everybody in and starting another recruiting class, coming up.
And when you talk about reach, what is that reach? When you look at recruiting, where is your kind of area that you what do you encompass when you're recruiting? Where are you willing to go to bring somebody in?
Well, I'll go wherever the talent is. It's a different day and age what we're dealing with now than we have been in past years, especially with COVID the last 2 years. You're looking at a lot of film now. You never used to do that. Now it's almost a common thing to do, is look at film, not always in person. But we primarily recruit from the New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania areas, some Ohio, and sometimes we get a few from Florida. But that's pretty much our base that we get most of our girls from. Now we've had girls from California and Texas and other areas, but that's our primary recruiting is the tri-state area with Maryland, Delaware, and Ohio.
What do you want to say to potential recruits out there, potential commits to the program here in Pacer Pride, as we're here with head volleyball coach Bill Schutter here for the women's volleyball team at Marywood University? What do you want to say to the young women out there that could be looking at Marywood or maybe aren't looking at Marywood yet? What do you want to say as far as the why when it comes to Marywood and your program?
I would just say that, we're a program that, we're very based on teamwork and speed and, we're trying to get in that height, but, we don't have that. So we make up for it in areas on defense and speed. If you're looking for, a place that, you think you might want to fit in, I would say look at some of our film, go back and look at some of the games. Certainly come to our, a game and see. We've already had some girls come up and during the season and watched us and were, then wrote me and now are interested in coming to Marywood. We also ran our first volleyball camp for the first time ever at Marywood this past summer. It was a tremendous success. We had a whole bunch of girls that are now looking at the college. And at the time, I wasn't looking at it for a recruiting tool. I was just looking at it as a development tool. And I was pleasantly surprised at the responses that we got of some of the girls that want to actually come back and play here. So, I just think it's a good school. It's we're tucked away here in the Northeast, but the campus is beautiful. The sports program is great. We've been in the top GPA. That we're in the top 3 GPA every year that I've been here. So we have smart girls with a ton of different majors that they do. We have everything from the PA program to art to architecture to speech pathology, education. So we have a wide variety of girls that pretty much have different majors. They all help one another out. We have study halls available for if you are having difficulty. But the biggest thing that stands out to me is I always kid them. I say we have a smart group. We have a smart group of girls. So take that talent that you have academically and give me some volleyball IQ out here, and we laugh about it a little bit. But that's what I would say.
Yeah, coming from Bill Schutter here for the volleyball team at Marywood University. Pacer Pride, our special that we have for you all throughout the month, exclusively on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. Bill, final piece, rapid fire. We're going to go back and forth. 2 questions apiece, nothing to do with volleyball. Help everybody out there to get to know you a little bit and also put me on the hot seat. So I'll defer to you first and let you ask me the first question.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I'm a big Marvel fan. I'm wearing my Eternals right now.
Oh, okay.
So I want to say, Spider-Man, but I'm a big Robin Williams fan. So I'd say probably my favorite movie of all time would have to be maybe Mrs. Doubtfire or Hook. Because
okay.
I grew up on Robin Williams, and to me, it was almost like he was like Uncle Robin because I had watched him my whole life. So, yeah, I mean, when he passed away, you would have thought I lost a relative. That was heartbreaking. So I probably have to say anything Robin Williams related.
Well, when you were watching him at that, I was watching him on Mork and Mindy,
which I also and I'm happy you mentioned that. Because my first that I can remember, I'm pretty sure the first live action show that my parents ever let me watch on TV was Mork and Mindy. And I just bought the DVD set so that I can watch it again.
There you go. So I just dated myself, but go ahead.
No, I love that you said it because it gave me a shameless plug to say it myself. I love Mork and Mindy. I'm happy you do too. For you, Bill, if you could jump into the fictionary world of any television show, what world would you jump into and why? What TV show?
Oh my God. I think I would get in trouble for saying any of the ones that I want to say. So, boy, that's a good one. Probably dial it back, maybe jump into the King of Queens or Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay.
That's a little bit more tame than what I probably would want to say.
Oh, that's fair. I love both of those shows. So, who's your favorite character from both of those shows?
I love Frank on Everybody Loves Raymond. He just cracks me up everything he says.
Yeah.
And obviously Kevin James.
Yeah, on the other side for Queens. But I mean, honestly, Bill, you're naming all of the TV shows and movies that I watch. So you and I we're on the same wavelength when it comes to what we're watching. I can appreciate all this stuff because I've seen all of it. So Everybody Loves Raymond hits home for an Italian kid that has that background with my mom and my dad's. So my mom and my grandma on my dad's side, my dad's mom did not get along. So on the television show, it's Marie. In real life, her name was Mary. She lived a few minutes down the road. His mom lived right across the street. My mom's name is Deborah. His wife's name is Deborah. Wow. So it got way too real in the house sometimes. What's your last one for me?
What's your favorite sport and your favorite team? Let's make that a two.
It's tough because I played basketball my whole life. Eric Grunman actually called me and recruited me to come out for the team at Marywood. I can shoot, but I'm 5'8". So I wanted to play D1 my whole life. And, being 5'8", I hated to run. So I practiced my shot. I worked on that a lot. But yeah, so I got a call from him, and basketball has always meant the world to me. So I would probably have to lean on basketball because my favorite sports day of the entire year is the first round, not the first four, which I respect and I love. I've been to Dayton, but
the 64,
the 64, where there's games from literally noon to midnight for 2 days.
Yep.
I want every day to be 16 games a day. So I get really excited about that. I really like college football, but I would probably have to say basketball. I'm going to pick my favorite college team for Division I is Syracuse. My favorite D2 team is LeMoyne. My favorite D3 team is Marywood. And I also
good answer.
And it's true though. I mean, it's true.
I know.
It's my whole life's been connected around that. And I would also have to say that the Toronto Raptors are my favorite NBA team.
Okay.
So my final one for you. Who do you consider to be the biggest influence on your life and why?
Wow. That's a tough one. I would say I would probably, I mean, my father to a point, my mom to a point. But yeah, it was good. Diesel.
Apparently he wants. Apparently you didn't give the right answer.
There you go. He is the influence right there. No, I had some coaches, going through as my college coach, my high school coach, my martial arts instructor that I had tremendous respect for. He was an older gentleman that taught me things well beyond the physical abilities of martial arts, and I honestly I believe I probably learned maybe more from him on a lot of issues than I did other people.
That coming from Bill Schutter here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of our Pacer Pride special. What's the name of your dog?
Diesel.
Diesel. All right. Well,
big German Shepherd.
Apparently,
let me see if I can turn this and so you can see him.
Okay.
Diesel.
Where you at, Diesel? Big guy. So yeah, Diesel. It was funny though. It was right on cue. I said biggest influence. You said to appoint my mom, to appoint my dad, and then he barked like, "What about me?"
Yeah.
So, I like that. That coming from Bill Schutter here of Marywood University Pacers volleyball team, leading the women every single season starting back in 2019 here in Pacer Pride, our special for you on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Bill, it was my pleasure to meet you a couple weeks ago. It's my pleasure to talk with you today, and I look forward to having you back on very soon. And let me give you an official, if you haven't had one already, you're more than welcome to come up here to Central and Upstate New York and recruit some of the high school kids up here.
All right.
Look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you for having me, Dan.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You too. Look what I have right here. That's right. Got my Raptors hat on. So speaking on those Raptors, let's go Raptors. And very, 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 very excited to say that the OVO collection from Drake is going to be having some really cool stuff dropping very soon. So, Christmas wishes, I'm guessing here, and very excited for that. So thank you so much for being a part of the show here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. I want to thank all of my incredible guests that have been on the broadcast here today. I want to give a special thanks to Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week. I want to give a thanks to Juanita Ward for joining me for Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, and the fact that we got to present that to you from Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay as we are celebrating what we are thankful for. And I want to thank our top dog of the week, Mary Grimes, LeMoyne Dolphins women's basketball head coach, getting her first win in her first try ever as a head coach and ever as the head coach of LeMoyne in their first game against East Stroudsburg. So shout out to her for that. And honored as our top dog of the week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. And to also thank Will Hicks, Coach Hicks, Hicksy, for being a part of the show today, a director of development and major gifts at Syracuse and a longtime bonder at NC State with Torrey Holt and Company, and Syracuse with Justin Pugh and Chandler and Arthur Jones and Jay Bromley and Shabarko Thomas and Ryan Nassib and so on and so forth, and Jameel McLean of bonding those players to the NFL. And for all that Hicks brings to it and all the kind words he had to say today, much love for that. And to Bill Schutter of Marywood Volleyball getting featured here in our newest edition of Pacer Pride. So a lot of great stuff here, and I definitely appreciate the fact that we had the opportunity to speak with them all on today's broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So with that being said, I want to remind everybody to find Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, wakeupcalldt.com, mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, and on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt and facebook.com/live now DT. Once the shows go live, you can check out the archive Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Podbean. You'll find me there for free, and you can once again find us at any one of those avenues by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Proud thanks to all of our partners, Cafe Kubal and Carvel DeWitt, Wildcat Sports Pub, Mon Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Progressive Dental, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, the Millhouse Market, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, LeMoyne Dolphins, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, PB&J's Lunchbox, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, and of course, Mother's Cupboard. As you know, from today, we are the proud multimedia marketing partner of the Marywood University Pacers, here with Pacer Pride all throughout the month. The Marywood Pacers coming to you with exclusive content in our Pacer Pride specials that have featured Enrico Mastriani of Marywood men's basketball, Jen Carlton of Marywood women's basketball, today with Bill Schutter that we got to feature from Marywood volleyball, Julie Trott that we got to feature from the field hockey team as an alum of the team and as the current head coach, Rob Ehlers that we got to feature of men's and women's track and field and cross country at Marywood University, and to also feature the Marywood men's basketball players, Jason Holman, center on the team, and point guard Corey Perkins, and of course executive director of athletics Pat Murphy, that have all been here in our content of the Marywood Pacers you won't find anywhere else across the country and the world. Marywood University done right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find out more by going to the Marywood tab at wakeupcalldt.com, including the composite schedule of all sports. And of course, you can go to marywoodpacers.com as well. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is also the proud multimedia marketing partner of the LeMoyne Dolphins. LeMoyne here with us every single Wednesday. You know that it's Dolphin time Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern time. You will find Dolphin time here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every Wednesday at 9 a.m. First and third Wednesday with AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, speaking on a specific topic for each episode. They're about LeMoyne for AD and DT, and every second and fourth Wednesday, including this coming Wednesday right before Thanksgiving, with Dolphin Dive, where we get to dive into the stories of student athletes, coaches, and or staff that have chosen LeMoyne to be their home. So we get to tell their stories. We have an incredible story coming up with Breanne Rhett this coming Wednesday right before Turkey Day, coming from the LeMoyne women's track team. So can't wait to share that with you. And as always, when it comes to LeMoyne, fins up. And of course, outside of Wednesdays at 9 a.m., we had specials with LeMoyne all the time, including today in celebrating the LeMoyne women's basketball head coach as she got her first victory in her first ever attempt as a head coach, and at LeMoyne with Mary Grimes. So much appreciation, and we had Nate Champion on before as well. So much love to LeMoyne. Find out more on the LeMoyne tab at wakeupcalldt.com and by going to LeMoyneDolphins.com. With that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Please be safe and be well. Have a fantastic weekend. If you're traveling to any of the sectional, or I should say the state championship games, or the state playoff games en route to the championship, if you're going to any of the state games, please be careful and please be safe. If you're going out to LeMoyne or Syracuse or Marywood, please do the same. Wherever you are and wherever you're going, be safe and be well. God bless. No stress. Do your best. And I look forward to talking with you all soon. I hope you have a great day.